I'm sitting here in the office with new head football coach Sam Pittman. Sam, welcome to On the Hills podcast.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.
When I say that, Sam, the head football coach at Arkansas, I mean, how does that resonate with you? I mean, you and I had a conversation a long time ago, but it's a reality. I mean, how does that resonate with when you hear that head coach at the University of Arkansas?
I don't know, it hits me as an honor. Sometimes it hits me as really, and sometimes it hits me kind of scary, well, we got to do this. But it's truly an honor that each and every day I feel grateful for. I mean, I really do, and grateful for the men around me and certainly the state of Arkansas. People are so different here, and so passionate, so caring, and I can't tell you how many times in our staff meeting I've said that's an Arkansas thing, and it's always in a positive way. But people, they'll say, well, no, I ran into Walmart and this happened. I say, that's Arkansas. You're welcome. You're welcome that you were able to come to our state. So yeah, it's been overwhelming a little bit, and it's been an honor.
Talk about that process. Must have been pretty exciting for you. You get done with the SEC championship game on a Saturday, and then almost within 48 hours, you're here in Fayetteville being announced as the head coach. Talk about that process.
Well, it was. There's little rumblings here and there during the week of the SEC championship game, and then on Sunday is when everything really kind of got rolling, and they came to see Jamie and I and sat out in our home and wanted to visit a little bit, and of course we were excited. To be honest with you, my hair was a little too long, so. Between working there at Georgia and Hunter and John and Steve Cox coming to the house, I had to get a haircut. So I went to Supercuts, and I put my cell number in. I was number 19. and so I was 19, and I had 59-minute wait, and I had about an hour and 45 minutes before they were going to get to the house. Right. But they came in the house, and we visited and interviewed or talked or whatever you want to call it. And then after that, maybe an hour into the conversation, Jamie and I was offered a head coaching job here at Arkansas, and I went limp. I mean, I just, until you really hear it doesn't really sink in, and I thought I didn't figure they was going to fly out there not to, I'd have to mess it up, but to hear it was incredible. And then we had a little bit of time after that to go call my three sisters and my brother and some, Todd Ross and Brandon Adam, guys that mean a lot to me, and we were able to talk to them, and it was a exciting, incredible day and moment, and then next thing you know, we're flying in here and talking to the team that night. So it all happened really fast.
The part I wanted that stood out to me, you stepped to the podium to be named the head coach, and just the instant emotion. Where did that come from?
Well, I think a lot of it came from many years of wanting something like this, but it was University of Arkansas. It was just different. I mean, I had wanted to be a head coach for a long time, but Arkansas, I mean, come on. So it was gratifying. I think part of it, when I first took the job here at Arkansas, and to see my mother and father's face and how excited they were that I was here as the O-line coach, and then to come back as the head coach and being able to talk to my brother, my three sisters, and all that, it was an incredible moment.
When you talk about being a head coach here at Arkansas, a lot of people say Arkansas is different. It's very unique, and you have to get a coach that gets it. And you had time, 3 years under Brett as the offensive line coach. Do you think that was that something that helped you kind of understand what it would take to take this head coaching job and lead this program?
And I think exactly that's I don't know what you believe in your life personally and all those things, but I believe that I was here at Arkansas for a reason the first time to get ready for the coming back. And so I learned a lot about the state during that time. Of course, I was, grew up across the state, but close, 70, 75 miles from here at Grove, Oklahoma. So, but I think all that happened for a reason, and if you really want to know the truth, every fan base is passionate about whoever they love, Georgia fans, Georgia or Georgia Tech or whoever they may be, or Oklahoma State or Tulsa or whoever, and of course we have Arkansas State here as well. But in the state, if you're a Razorback, you've probably been a Razorback for many, many years,
Right.
And you're born a Razorback. And so those things are so unique here. The people are so kind, and to be honest with you, I want to be the guy that came in here and we were able to turn the program back to where the University of Arkansas should be. And I wanted that burden on my shoulders. I wanted it, and because I knew I could hire people around me that felt the same way, that could coach and recruit, and we've done that. And so I wanted that pressure. I certainly have it, but I wanted it.
Initially, the first day on the job, Brad Davis, the guy that you recruited to Oklahoma, coached, he was in the building, but nobody knew Brad was in Fayetteville. Talk about that staff, and why was Coach Davis the first hire that you brought to Fayetteville?
Well, Brad, I knew, in my opinion, that he's the top offensive line coach in the country. I knew who he was. To be honest with you, I feel like Brad's my son. I mean, I do, and I know he's not. He's got a wonderful mom and dad. But I felt that way about him. I've loved him for a long, long time, since he was 18 years old, and I've been involved in his coaching searches, and hopefully I had some influence in some of the jobs that he was able to get. But I mean, you're talking about a guy that's been offered basically every job in America, every quality college job, a lot of them, let's say that, in America. And when I called him, it was like, for you? I said, no, for Arkansas. He said, I'm there, and he came. Then he stayed. Because he's had several offers since he's been here too, and he stayed faithful to the university and to the state and to myself, and he was the first guy. And I had been in contact with Barry when I thought maybe possibly Barry Odom, and maybe possibly I'd get the job. And I understand Barry turned some pretty nice jobs down himself to come be with us at Arkansas. So we kind of got it started rolling a little bit, and then I was sitting here on my phone rings, and if I don't have a contact, it doesn't come up with a contact, then I'm not going to answer it, and I'm not better than anybody. I just, I no telling who it is, and maybe I didn't pay my credit card or something. I don't know. But it was Kendall Browse, and I picked it up, and there was no contact on it, and got to talking to him too. So that's how he kind of got in the mix. And then we just went out and tried to find guys that were good that we played against.
Right.
I really wanted SEC experience on our staff, because I just feel like you need it, and you need it in every aspect, but you need it in recruiting, because the world is just different in the SEC. Right. And you have to understand the league to understand what kind of talent you need to have success in this league. And I wanted to surround myself with guys that understood that. And so I think we did. And I'm, every morning, 7:30 in the morning, I'm talking too much right now, but every morning, 7:30 in the morning, we have a staff meeting, and it's everybody in the building is in that staff meeting, because I want us all to be together. I want us all to be loyal to each other, and I want us all to understand the expectations that are in the building and for the university. And those meetings in the morning, I can't wait to get to. They're outstanding. We kind of pump up a different individual every morning. Somebody maybe even on the periph that they don't get to talk a lot in there, but we want to hear their voice and something that can make us better. And everybody's important, and we need everybody in our organization to be the best at whatever their title is. We want them to be the best in the country, and we feel pretty solid that we're on the right track.
Coached at multiple SEC stops. Coach Smith there at Missouri.
Yeah.
Coach Dickey at Tennessee. You come here with Brett Bielema at Arkansas. And then you move on to Georgia with Kirby Smart. In your press conference, Coach, you mentioned that while you were at Georgia, it was like recruiting on steroids. What was the one thing that you took from Kirby Smart that you can apply to the aggressive recruiting style here at Arkansas?
It was the relentless effort and the relentless accountability of recruiting. In other words, I can tell or ask someone to go out and recruit, but if there's not accountability into it, then you can slip. In other words, if I'm going to ask somebody to do something, tomorrow I'm going to ask him the result of what he did, then he pretty much going to do it.
Right.
And so I think that was what I learned from Kirby the most in recruiting, was that if there was something being asked, there was going to be an accountable answer for it soon. It might be 15 minutes, it might be the next morning, but hey, I'd like for you to do this, and then I'm wanting to know the answer. He wouldn't say that, but you knew that eventually within the next 12 minutes to 12 hours, you was going to have the answer for whatever the question was. I think that was different than, hey, I know I hired a lot of great recruiters. You go out and recruit, and man, we're going to get a lot of people. I think there's note writing. I think there's texting. I think there's group texting. I think there's a whole lot of things that we can do that possibly other schools don't, or maybe we can do more than they do. So I learned that from Kirby, that, and the old saying is everybody has time, and what you do with it. There's a lot of truth to that, and I think you have to watch it to being overbearing and all those things, but you certainly don't want to lose a kid in recruiting because somebody outworked you for it. And I think that's what I learned from Kirby.
Looking in the SEC West, LSU just won the national championship under Coach O. When you see coaches like Coach O, get a job that he wanted in the state of Louisiana, how much does that motivate you to think maybe, Arkansas, I want to be here, and maybe that could be me at that stage? One time, is that a driving force for you?
Well, quite a bit, but I will say this. Coach O, you can tell his passion for Louisiana, and I know they're a rival school and they're in the West and all that, but I really enjoy watching him talk and watching him speak about Go Tigers, and because I know how passionate he is about the program that he's in, and I assume what he did, he went and hired who he felt were the best assistants for his job that he had, and let them coach. And certainly that's what we're trying to do here. We're so far off from Coach O and all that, so certainly there's no comparison there. He's already proven that. But it is very awesome to see how he feels about Louisiana like I do about the state of Arkansas.
A lot of other coaches. Coach O is just one. You'll be going against the likes of Saban, Jimbo Fisher, a lot of coaches in this league that's coached in national championship games. Some have won as head coaches or coordinators. How exciting does that make the staff, you guys as a whole, feel to be able to match wits in the coming years with these great staffs and programs?
Well, certainly you know, you mentioned, you know, Nick Saban and those guys. I mean, those guys are legends in college football world. But once you get on the football field, it's all about the preparation that you've done through the season. It's all about what kind of game plan you have, who do you have, matchups, all those type things. And really that doesn't come into thinking. I can remember the first time we played Alabama, I looked over and I was going, well, we're playing Alabama, you know, and it was kind of like, you know, wow and all that. And then after the game starts, it's, you know, we played them right out here and they beat us 14-13 but once the game starts, it's all about your kids and do you have them ready to go, do you have them prepared and all that. But certainly the names that you just said of coaches, it certainly solidifies that one of the greatest leagues in the country is the SEC West.
You talk about your strength and conditioning program, Coach. What's your philosophy as far as strength and conditioning goes for your football program in the SEC going forward?
Well, I think if you look at our team right now, we have to get bigger. So we hired Jamil Walker from Georgia, and we have to get more physical. We have to get bigger. We have to get faster, all those things. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to instill discipline and confidence in the weight room. But we have to be a bigger football team. Games are won on line scrimmage in this league, and we have to get bigger physically. We have to recruit bigger on the O and D lines. And certainly skill matters, all that. I'm not saying that, but if you can't win up front on either side of the ball, you're going to be in trouble on a Saturday. So we're trying to build confidence in that room.
Two quick questions. Recruiting territories. How will you break up?
I think we're going to have 10 in the state of Arkansas. We've already broke that up, and then I believe we're a regional recruiting base. In other words, I think if you're touching us, we're recruiting you. So you know, obviously Oklahoma, Texas, you know the states that are touching us. And I think we'll have a presence in Georgia because I was in Georgia, and I think we are going to have a presence in Georgia. We'll always have a presence in Florida. But we're trying not, you know, it's not about the number of schools you see each time you go out. It's about the people you affect and the knowledge you've learned when you went into the school. I don't care if our coaches go 8 schools. I'd rather them go 4 and make sure that they got the knowledge and they affected people in that school when they went in.
Last question, Sam. Is Arkansas, will this be your last stint in college coaching?
This is it. No matter, this is it. This is my last job. I've been privileged to be the head coach, named the head coach here, and this is it. As long as they'll have me, then we'll just stay right here and see what we can get done.
And final message to the Razorback Nation. If there was one message, and you know everybody, whatever Sam Pittman says at this point, they want to listen to, what's that one message that you want them to know, for this football program under Sam Pittman?
Well, we want them to know that everybody in this building is proud to be here. I think that's the biggest thing I want them to know, and then I want them to know that we're going to work each and every day because we want to make the state proud of our football team. You see what's going on in basketball and in baseball and all the women's sports and all that. We want to be a part of something. That sign right there says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas, you're coming to play for the state of Arkansas. And if that's the case, we want to make the state proud of us, and that we're working each and every day to get that done.
Well, Sam, we welcome you back to the Hill, hopefully for a lot of successful Saturdays, and just want to thank you for taking time out.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Great interview. Appreciate you.
And can I get a yes, sir, to the camera?
Yes, sir.